Yes, good evening to everybody. Welcome to my today class, and please read what I posted on the screen so that I could know that you are with me and I am with you, and both are traveling the same boat to reach to the destination. Yes, hurry up.
4 elements of negligence: duty wound, duty breached, causation, damages. Professor Dr.
Yes.
Mohammed Hussain. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because there are 4 duties are there, elements of the negligence. One is the duty owed to the defendant and duty breached by the defendant, and duty owed to the plaintiff and the duty breached by the defendant, and causation is there and the damage is occurred over there. So these are the main items for the negligence. So we have to see the negligence chapter, because if you happen to see the unit 1 in the syllabus, and which I highlighted in the red, what is that?
Negligence.
Negligence, malice, negligence, liability without fault, statutory liability, parties to the proceedings are nothing but who can sue, who can be sued. And later on the unit 2, general defenses, we dealt it, and vicarious liability also dealt it yesterday. But negligence is missed over there. So negligently I missed the negligence. In advanced way that I missed the negligence. Yes, if you happen to see this year, you will find this one. What is this one?
That is a manhole, sir.
Very good. How many types of the holes you know it? Sir, I know only the manhole, sir. See, this is the manhole. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is the sewage manhole generally. Yes. What about this one? Hurry up. If you know it,
That
tell
is
me. If you don't know it, say pass on.
pass on, sir.
Peephole.
Pass.
In the door, we can see from the inside who is knocking the door outside. We can see the peephole. Is it clear? Is it clear? Say yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Spelling P-E-E-P, peep, H-O-L-E, hole. Either with the dash or without the dash. Doesn't matter. So what about this one? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What about this one?
Pass on, sir.
It is a weep hole. W-E-E-P, weep. Then hyphen, H-O-L-E, hole. See the water which will be there, because of the percolation, water goes to here. Through it by percolation, one stator to another stator, it is pass on from here and goes here. So it is weeping here. So it is called
Weep hole.
Weep hole.
weep hole. That is a weep hole. What about this one?
Black hole.
Black hole. I appreciate. What about this one? In the bathroom,
Pass on,
you
sir.
will have such a thing.
Drainage.
Drainage hole. What is that?
Drainage hole.
Drainage hole. What about this one?
A sink.
Sink hole.
Wash basin.
S-I-N-K, wash
Sink hole.
basin, sink. S-I-N-K, sink hole. Then what about this one? If you
Circular
don't
hole.
say, pass on. Don't waste the time.
Circular hole, sir.
Round hole. What about this one?
Square hole.
I appreciate. What about this one?
Cylindrical hole.
Long hole with the
Curved edges.
long hole with the round ends. What about this
Ends.
one? Long
Long
hole with
hole
the
with straight ends.
square ends. Or angle. We can say angle also. Angle.
Okay.
Long hole with the angle ends. This is a long hole with the round ends. Okay. So this
We
is the
can say
thing which I
rectangular
want.
hole, sir.
Yes, please tell me. Deepa.
Can't we say it as rectangular hole, sir?
Which one? Yeah, we can also say it's a rectangle hole. Is another word we can say, also say the rectangle hole. Because when you say round hole, when you say square hole, We also say the rectangle hole. Okay. Yes, you are right. I admit it. So these are the types of the hole. We should know it. Now let us come to the negligence and the part of it. And this fellow is got negligent because he is going to dash the driver using the phone and try to knock down the pedestrian. Whether the vehicle is a Indian vehicle or a foreign vehicle.
As the
Foreign
picture
vehicle.
looks like a foreign, sir. It is a foreign vehicle.
Vehicles.
How could you know it's a foreign vehicle?
Steering wheel is at the left
Steering
side.
at the left-hand side. I appreciate. Steering at the left-hand side. Now let us see the negligence. Negligence. Then what is this sign? What is this sign? I told you already.
Colon, sir.
Yes?
Colon, sir.
Colon, an overview. So let us see the meaning. In everyday you say the word negligence denotes mere carelessness. Sir, negligence peddada, sir, carelessness peddada, sir. Which is genus, which is a species? Which is
Awesome,
a
sir.
genus, which is a species? Yes, repeat.
Negligence is species. Genus, careless is species, sir.
Negligence is a genus and the carelessness is a species, part of it. So in a legal sense, it signifies failure to exercise standard of care which the doer as a reasonable man should have exercised in the circumstances. In general, there is a legal duty to take care when it was reasonably foreseeable that failure to do so was likely to cause injury. So negligence is a mode in which many kinds of the harms may be caused by not taking such adequate precautions. So now you tell me, a man with the umbrella walking in a busy street should take the more care than the man who is not having the umbrella. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
A man with a crowbar with more standard of care should be taken than a man with the umbrella. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Then
sir.
what is a crowbar?
Crowbar
No
is
ideas,
a
sir.
tool to dig the
Gatapara.
agriculture land.
వడ్రోళ్ళ దగ్గర ఉంటుంది చూడండి గడ్డపార తొవ్వేది
Yes, sir.
సబ్బలు అంటారు ఉడుదులో. Okay, now Winfield definition is, according to the Winfield and Jolovich, negligence is a breach of a legal duty. See, he said not only duty, say legal duty to take care which results in damage undesired by the defendant to the plaintiff. Is not desired by the defendant, but undesired by the defendant to the plaintiff, which he is supposed to take it. So that is the definition, the breach of a legal duty to take care and which results in damage undesired, unpredicted by the defendant to the plaintiff. Then who has committed the negligence here? Who has committed the negligence here?
Defendant,
Defendant. Who is the victim here?
plaintiff.
Plaintiff, the person who goes to the court. Now let us see the one of the case law. This case law we already discussed somewhere. Can you tell me where that case law is discussed? Blith versus Brigham Waterworks Company. That is a negligence.
General defenses.
In which
Sir, I
part?
think so.
We discussed this case law. Act
Awesome,
or
sir.
omission.
4 cases ఉంటాయి సార్ అందులో this is one of that.
And we also discussed the same case law in general defenses also somewhere. So doing something which a prudent and reasonable man would not do. So this is the case law we discussed. What is the name of what is the facts of the case law? Can anybody will tell me? What is the facts of the case law? See, this is the way we have to remember the things. Otherwise, we never remember in your life. What is the case of the case law? See, I am showing you. At least you remember now. The brief fact of summary: defendant had installed a water mains along with the street with the hydrant located at the various points. One of the hydrant across the plaintiff house developed a leak as a result of the exceeding a cold temperature and caused water damage to the house. The hydrant closed located, we can say, valve also. VALV, valve. Because of the high humidity, high coldness, the valve has broken and the plaintiff, house is totally inundated in the water. So plaintiff sued to recover the damages sustained when a water plug means nothing but a valve installed by the defendant sprang a leak and doused the plaintiff house. Means the totally plaintiff house was inundated in the water. That is the term you should have used. Muttanga munigipoyindi. Ante some part of it, not complete the house, but the house garden. So it is the frost which was given the burst to the valve, and that is the issue. Was the jury is properly allowed to consider whether the defendant was guilty of negligence? And here the defendant is not the negligence on the part of it, because we got unforeseeable thing which is happened over there. That is a reasonable foreseeability. Does not mean the remote possibility. There also we can use this case law. Am I right?
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
And the case law we can use in the omission also. This is the valve case law, VALV, valve, which is busted because of the high coldness. Frost is there. And gaddagatti podam. If anybody goes to the in a very, very cold season to the Shimla, you will not get the water in the pipes because it is frozen totally. So let us come to the Langalli Iron and Coal Company versus McMullan. In the case law, negligence means more than the headless or careless conduct, whether in the commission or omission. Both the thing. Either the commission or the omission properly connotes the complex concept of a duty. Breach and damage thereby suffered by the person to whom the duty was owing. I told you railway crossing. How many type of the railway crossings are there? Yes, I told you already. Railway crossing, two types of the railway crossings are there. What are they?
Sir, broad gauge, meter gauge, narrow gauge.
నేను రైల్వే క్రాసింగ్ అన్నా, రైల్స్ అంటలేను నేను. రైల్ అంటే బ్రాడ్ గేజ్ ఉంటుంది, నారో గేజ్ ఉంటుంది, మీటర్ గేజ్ ఉంటుంది. ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ రైల్వే క్రాసింగ్, గోయింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ ఎండ్ టు ద అనదర్ ఎండ్, ద పెడెస్ట్రియన్ ఆర్ కార్ ఆర్ బుల్స్ ఆర్ రిక్షాస్, లారీస్. Unattended railway crossing and attended railway crossing. Man attended railway crossing where he closed the doors or gates. We don't say doors, we say gates. Biddagunayi the gates antaru, chinnagunayi doors antaru. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
చిన్న అమ్మాయిని పిల్ల అంటారు, పెద్దవాను ఆడవి అంటారు. అంతేనా అండి?
అంతే సార్.
Yes. So manned level crossing, unmanned level crossing. In the unmanned level crossing, it is you have to take the care. Look the both the side, then you pass the tracks. ఒకడు ఏం చేసిందంటే, అతి తెలివి అంటే తెలుసా అండి మీకు? ఇంగ్లీష్లో చెప్పండి అతి తెలివిని.
ఓవర్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్, సార్.
పర్వర్టెడ్ జీనియస్ అంటారు దాన్ని. ఏమంటారు? పర్వర్టెడ్, PERVER.
పర్వర్టెడ్ జీనియస్.
పర్వర్టెడ్ జీనియస్. ఇది చేయండి, వీడు అడిగిండు అన్నట్టు, ఎక్కడికి సపోజ్ ఇటు పోతాడు అనుకో, రైల్వే క్రాసింగ్లో పోతాడు. సార్, ఈ హైదరాబాద్ నుండి వచ్చే ట్రైను ఏది హాజీపేట్కి పోయిందా సార్ అని అడుగుతాడు. ఇక్కడ కన్పూర్ స్టేషన్లో రైల్వే క్రాసింగ్ చేసేటప్పుడు వాడన్నాడు కదా పోయింది అన్నాడు. మళ్ళీ సార్, ఈ విజయవాడ నుండి వచ్చేది ఇటు హైదరాబాద్ పోయింది, సికింద్రాబాద్ పోయేది ట్రైన్ పోయిందా అని అడుగుతాడు. వాడు అన్నాడు కదా పోయిండు అన్నాడు. మళ్ళీ వాడికి డౌట్ వచ్చింది, సార్ మీరు అసలు ఎక్కడికి పోవాలా సార్ మీరు స్టేషన్కి? నేను ఈ స్టేషన్కి పోవడం లేదు, ఈ రైల్వే క్రాసింగ్ చేస్తాను, అందుకోసమే అడుగుతాను అన్నాడు. తెలివే అండి అది? తెలివే అండి అది?
పర్వర్టెడ్ తెలివి సార్.
Just you look the both the sides, then you cross it. But that fellow will thinking that oh, this fellow wants to board the train. That's why he is asking it. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. దాన్ని ఏమనాలా అతి తెలివి అంటారు, పర్వర్టెడ్ జీనియస్. యూ షుడ్ నాట్ ఓవర్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్. అది ఓవర్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ కూడా అవుతుంది. అసలు ఓవర్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ కాదు అది, ఓవర్ కేర్లెస్ కూడా కాదు అది, ఓవర్ యాక్టివ్నెస్ కూడా కాదు అది, యూజ్లెస్ యాక్టివ్నెస్ దట్స్ కాల్డ్. సో వాట్ ఆర్ ద 4 types ఆఫ్ ది నెగ్లిజెన్స్? 4 types ఆఫ్ ది నెగ్లిజెన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఒకటి గ్రాస్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్, 2 contributed negligence, 3rd comparative negligence, and we can say sometimes mixed contributory or comparative negligence, and the last one is vicarious negligence. Now let us start from the down. Vicarious negligence means కుక్క కరిసిందండి, ఎవరు బాధ్యులు? ఎస్,
కుక్క ఓనర్ సార్.
ఓనర్స్. దాన్ని వైకారియస్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్. కుక్కకు బదులు ఎవరు బాధ్యులు?
ఓనర్
of the dog.
ఓనర్ ఆఫ్ ది డాగ్ ఇస్, దాన్ని వైకారియస్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ అంటారు. A vicarious negligence is when someone is indirectly responsible. Here the owner of the dog is responsible. The most common example is a dog bite. Then though the person themselves did not injure someone, their dog did it, and thus they are responsible to cover any injuries caused to their dog. దీన్ని వికారియస్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ అంటారు. ఇంకేమిటి వికారియస్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ లో? ఫర్ ద యాక్టివిటీస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎంప్లాయీ ద ఎంప్లాయర్ ఈస్ హెల్డ్ లయబుల్. దీన్ని కూడా వికారియస్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ అంటారు, ఆర్ వికారియస్ లయబిలిటీ అంటారు. ఇజ్ ఇట్ కరెక్ట్? ఇక్కడ మిక్స్డ్ కాంట్రిబ్యూటరీ అండ్ కంపారేటివ్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ లో 50-50 ఉంటుంది. ఇది కాంట్రిబ్యూషన్ 50 ఉంటుంది, కంపారేటివ్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ 50 ఉంటుంది ఇందులో. సో లెట్ us see that what is that example we'll see. If the jury determined that not to wearing your seat belt was half or more than half the reason you were injured, you would receive a little to no damages. Suppose if you don't wear andala, tie the andala, which was the right word. If you don't wear the seat belt, if you don't tie the seat belt, which one is the right word?
If you don't put the
If you
seat belt on.
if you don't tie the seat belt is the appropriate word. అదే మరి హెల్మెట్ ఉన్నది అనుకోండి, ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ వేర్ ద హెల్మెట్,
Where?
ఫాలోయింగ్ మీ?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is a very appropriate. So 50-50 comparative negligence and mixed contributory. Just for your name, for your understanding, I am giving, because generally there is no type of the question all will be asked the type of the negligence. No. So generally they will ask a different way. But for your knowledge, comparative negligence means it is an example could be someone injuring themselves on a wet floor. Wet floor చెప్పినాం, ఎవరు పెడతారండి వెట్ ఫ్లోర్? హూ ఇస్ ద ట్రేడీ నేమ్? ఆల్రెడీ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ.
జెనిటర్.
Janitor. That is the best way to remember the things. Even though there was a wet floor sign present, in this scenario, the injured person is usually deemed responsible for knowing their surrounding and is not due to any damage. అంటే కంపారిటివ్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ ఉన్నది. కంపారిటివ్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్కి కాంట్రిబ్యూటివ్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్కి కొంచెమే డిఫరెన్స్ ఉన్నదండి. Because the janitor had kept the wet board sign, caution, wet floor, but this fellow did not pee the head and he slipped and fell down. So his contribution is there and comparative negligence also there, both the way. Because comparative negligence in the part of the plaintiff only here. So you drive through a green light but are struck by someone running a red light. You sustain the serious injuries because you are not wearing a seat belt. So it's both the comparative negligence and contributive negligence also. So a little difference would be there for that. And contributive negligence, definitely, that I told you that if you don't wear the seat belt, contributive negligence, and if you don't if you don't wear the helmet, contributive negligence, if you don't tie the seat belt, also contributive negligence. And another thing also there, an example is someone texting and driving that gets into the accident. When you are driving, can you send the text message? Answer no.
No, sir, we should not.
With another driving made an illegal turn, so there will be an accident which is going to be collapsed over there. So that is the contributed negligence. Now let us see the gross negligence. This I want to make it out. So what example I will give you, I will explain you. What is the gross negligence? The example which is given over here is hospital staff does not change the surgery patient's bandage for several days, resulting in the serious infection. Gangrene is formed over there. Another is a surgeon who amputates. ఇక్కడ కట్ అనలే చూడండి, కట్ అనలే, సివియర్ అనలే. ఇక్కడ ఏమన్నాడండి? What he said?
Amputate.
Amputate means severing the body part scientifically is called amputation. I repeat, severing, cutting the body parts, bones with the scientific manner is called amputate. ఇష్టం వచ్చిన కాడ తీరు నరకరు కాలు ఒక పాయింట్స్ దగ్గరనే నరుకుతారు. So a surgeon who amputates the wrong limbs after reading an X-ray backward would be liable for the gross negligence since even an untrained person could have spotted the error. వాడు ఏం చేసిండండి, లెఫ్ట్ లెగ్ తీయరా అంటే రైట్ లెగ్ తీసి పడేసిండు. ఎందుకంటే మిర్రర్ ఇమేజ్ చూసాడు. అది ఫాలోయింగ్ మీ.
Yes, sir. Yes,
మన
sir.
సరోజినీ దేవి హాస్పిటల్లో అది అయింది, మీకు తెలుసో తెలియదో. అది ఆపరేషన్ రైట్ ఐ అయితే వాడు లెఫ్ట్ ఐ చేసి పడేసిండు. Did you hear that it came in the newspaper? Sir, మేము పుట్టలేదు సార్ అప్పుడు. It came in the
No, sir,
newspaper.
we are not
also.
aware of that.
That is the gross negligence. అదేమంటారు?
Gross negligence.
ఇప్పుడు నేను గ్రాస్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ కు ఉదాహరణ చెప్తాను చూడండి. ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ డు యూ ప్రిపేర్ ద రైస్. ఎవరన్నా ఒక్కరు చెప్పండి, రైస్ ఎట్లా ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తారు మీరు? ఎనీవన్ షార్ట్. How do you cook
రైస్
the rice?
తీసుకొని దాంట్లో we will what sir? We will take out the impurities from the rice.
Rice, sir. Is it cooking of rice, sir?
కుకింగ్ ద రైస్. అన్నం ఎట్లా వండుతారు మీరు?
Okay.
హరి అప్.
Sir, step 1. Take the amount of the required rice and clean it. Later, soak for some time in water. After some time, put it on the stove with enough water, which is double the amount of rice,
గంజి వంచుతారా, గంజి వంచరా?
and boil it. ఏంటి sir?
గంజి వంచుతారా, గంజి వంచరా?
అంటే
Rice మంచిగా ఉంటే గంజి
రైస్ ని బట్టి సార్టెడ్ రైస్ అయితే
Okay. I will give you that. How I cook because I'm a best cook. Because at least more than 20 years, 18 years, I was stayed outside, then I cooked myself only. Because the food that which is prepared over there, you could not eat, especially Indians. Okay, let us come to the matter that how I cook it. Because generally I don't cook the other rice because the other rice sometimes it become a lie and sometimes it become a very hard stones. So I purchased only the Pakistani basmati rice or any Indian basmati rice when I was staying in the Dar es Salaam. 5 bags rice. It doesn't have any stones. It doesn't have any paddy at all. So I just wash it and put it on the wash it the water and with the glass I measure it. Saripoyinattu water I will make it because I don't squeeze the ganji. So I put it sari. Then what I add now, I add some ghee or what I say the sweet oil. Anything. I add some ghee. Then I add some red gram and green gram. And then I add also Bengal gram. Then I add some ginger and garlic paste. I add something green chilies. Then I add some cardamom and I add some cloves. And then taste to the salt that I'll add it. Then I fix the lid. Then I pray. Meanwhile, it whistles comes. Then I will stop it. The electricity. Then after some time, it becomes very hot. It is cooked. That is my way of.
Then it is a veg biryani, I think, sir, not rice.
It is because that is my preparation. You they say khichdi, you say the any other thing. That's why because I don't
కిచిడి sir.
I don't take the pulses over there because single man what he can take the pulses. Pappu cheskoni em chestarandi nenu single man ni. So I add all the pulses in it. So that is my style of preparing the food. So a person who appointed a female domestic worker, he gave the advertisement in the newspaper. Yes, the female cook I need it to do the household works. Then everybody interviewed and one lady came. Then she said, then why you were earlier you were removed from their earlier place? Then say, no sir, I committed a simple mistake. While you are preparing the rice. Then he asked, okay, I think you did not add the sugar, salt. No sir, I added the salt. Then I think you did not add the cardamom or the type which I used to cook. Cloves or the cinnamon bark. Cinnamon bark అంటే తెలుసా అండి మీకు?
దాల్చిన చెక్క, sir.
దాల్చిన చెక్కను సిన్నమాన్ బార్క్ అంటారు. క్లౌస్ అంటే లవంగాలు అంటారు. కాడమం అంటే
యాలకులు సార్.
ఇలాచి
యాలకులు అంటారు. గ్రీన్ చిల్లీస్. రెడ్ గ్రామ్ అంటే
ఎర్రపప్పు
కందిపప్పు.
కందిపప్పు,
గ్రామ్ అంటే
పెసరపప్పు,
మిరియాలు.
బెంగాల్ గ్రామ్ అంటే
మినపప్పు.
నో, శనగలు,
ఓకే.
శనగపప్పు. So these are the things. Then he asked, perhaps you are forgetting the red gram. No, sir, I added it. Then you have forgotten the green gram. No, sir, I added it. Then you have forgotten the Bengal gram. No, I added it. Then said, you did not add the oil or the ghee. No, I added it. Then when you added it, how, why you he removed you? Sir, I forgotten to
I
keep
think-
the rice in it. Can you appoint such a lady? Can you appoint such a lady who prepare the food, rice without the rice? Who cook the rice without the rice? Is it what type of the negligence it is?
gross negligence.
It is a gross negligence. If any person appoints such a lady to be a housemaid, that fellow will see the stars in the day. Are you following me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. So this example I used to give wherever I teach the law of tort, especially the negligence. Okay? That is my type, the style of preparing the food. Because I eat only the fish and prawns and goat meat. These are only the three. And we get the fish fillets. That will be freshwater fish fillets. No bones. Only flesh. And prawns, dressed prawns. So anyway, let us come to the point of here. So a sound mind is in sound body. That is a Asian proverb. But the African proverb is a healthy mind is in healthy body. Okay, now let us come to the next point of our is what are the ingredients would be there in the negligence? I told you the four generally. So what are the ingredients? Number one, duty to take care. One of the essential conditions for the liability for the negligence is that the defendant owed a duty to care towards the plaintiff. The following case law will throw some light up on that. Already we said this case law, Grant versus Australian Knitting Mills Limited. This case law says plaintiff purchases two sets of the woolen underwears. Underwear individual. But in the I don't know whether you know it or not. ఈ రెండు చేతులలో ఉండేది, చేతుల్లో అయితే మనం సంకలం అంటామండి. సంకలం ఆంపిట్ అంటారు. మళ్ళీ రెండు కాళ్ళ మధ్యలో ఉండేదాన్ని ఏమంటారండి? అంటే ఐఎమ్ స్పీకింగ్ ద స్పేస్.
Genital area, sir.
ఇక్కడేమో సంకలం అంటాము. కింద దానికి ఏమంటారు? కింద దానికి కింది భాగం
Vasan, sir.
గ్రోయిన్స్ అంటారు. గ్రోయిన్. ఈ అండర్వేర్ ఏవేర్ చేసేవారు కదా, గ్రోయిన్స్లో అక్కడ ఈ గాడ్ ద what I say, because the sulfate is more in the that underwear, so he developed the rashes. ఎర్రగా అయిపోయింది మనకి, rashes వచ్చినాయి. ఏది అండర్వేర్ వేసుకోవడం వల్ల. Because there is a more sulfur is there. Whenever you buy a new things, new clothes, please don't wear it directly. You wash it with the soap, then you dry it, then you wear that. Even though even bunions or underwears or any new clothes, because there is a more chemicals are there. Sometimes the chemicals will not be removed. So the manufacturer held liable as they failed to perform their duty to take care because they did not remove the sulfur which is used over in the manufacturing, which caused the rashes to the groins of this man and who wear the underwear. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
What is the duty that
Yes,
the
sir.
manufacturer should have to? Omission of a duty. Is it or not? Duty to take
Yes, sir.
care. The duty to take care is not done by Australian Knitting Mills Limited, which is preparing the, which is manufacturing the
Underwears.
underwears. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us see the another case law. Duty to whom? Duty to the consumer. Duty to whom? Duty to the consumer. Donegal versus
consumer.
ginger beer case law. We already discussed this case law. What is the ginger beer case law? And he brought the fancy to the pub and he poured in one tumbler, one jug beer. The second tumbler, when he poured it, because the beer bodiless is opaque, it's not a transparent. There, what is floating there?
A dead snail.
We should not say a dead snail. Professor Hussain students never say dead snail. What they say?
Corpse.
Rotten snail. R-O-T-T-E-N, rotten.
Rotten.
Or decayed snail. D-E-C-A-Y-E-D, decayed snail. Or putrid snail. P-U-T-R-I-D, putrid snail. We are such a snail. Can Professor Hussain students never say dead snail? They say rotten snail was floating over there, and she got the nausea, and she got fainted, and she was hospitalized. And the husband will file not husband, his partner is filed a case against the person who supplied the beer, ginger beer. Then they say it is opaque, they never opened, there is no third party interference is not there, novus actus intervenience, means there is no break of the chain. So manufacturer is held liable to the consumer, who is a neighbor, last man. So there is a duty to whom? Duty to the consumer. Who is the consumer? Your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? Who consumes the items. So that is the Donegal versus Stevenson is the remarkable case law. We have to cite it. Number 3, duty must be towards the plaintiff. So it took to the plaintiff particularly. It is not sufficient that the defendant owe a duty to take care. It must also be established that the defendant owe a duty of care towards the plaintiff. Can anyone unmute and read this one? Borhill versus St. Case law. Read. Can anyone unmute and read this case law?
In Bourhill versus Young, 1943, the plaintiff, a fishwife, what's her? Fishwife,
Yes.
alighted from a tram car while she was being helped in putting her basket on her back. A motorcyclist, after passing the tram, collided with a motor car at a distance of 15 yards on the other side of the tram and died instantly. The plaintiff could see neither the deceased nor the accident, as the tram was standing between her and the place of the accident. She had simply heard about the collision, and after the dead body had been removed, she went to the place and saw blood left on the road. Consequently, she suffered a nervous shock and gave birth to a stillborn child of 8 months. She sued the representatives of the deceased motorcyclist. It was held that the deceased had no duty of care towards the plaintiff, and hence she could not claim damages.
Yes. I don't know how much you understood. Borhill versus Young is a remarkable case law. This case law we can use at least 3 or 4 places. Number 1, there is no duty of care towards the plaintiff. Number 2, nervous shock, psychological imbalance, we can use this case law. And number 3, too remote, also we can use this case law. So the plaintiff, who is the plaintiff? A fishwife. Fishwife ante entidandi? Fisherman wife ni fishwife antaru ikkada. Are you following me?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
A fisherman's wife is called a fishwife. Alighted ante digadam from tram car. Tram car చూసారండి, ఓన్లీ ట్రామ్స్ బెంగాల్లో ఉన్నాయి, కలకట్టాలోనే ఉన్నాయి, వేరే కడ ఎక్కడ లేవు ట్రామ్స్. బికాజ్ ఇట్ రన్ విత్ ద ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ. ఇది ట్రాక్స్ ఉంటాయి, రోడ్డు మీదకి వెళ్ళే పోతా ఉంటాయి. Have you seen the trams?
No, sir, we are not aware of that.
Only in Kannada. In the old English movies, you will see the trams. So she alighted from the trams while she was being helped in putting her basket on her back. So she is going to keep the fish basket on the back. A motorcyclist, after passing from a tram, so the motorcyclist was going there. The tram collided with the motor car and the distance of 15 yards. So there was a collision between
Tram car and a motorcyclist.
Motorcyclist and
Motorcyclist. Tram car.
Tram car. So the distance of the 15 yards on the other side, the tram, and died instantly. Who died instantly?
Fishwife.
Fishwife, no.
Motorcyclist.
Fishwife saw, hard.
Motorcyclist.
Motorcyclist died. The plaintiff, the fishwife, could see neither the deceased, she did not see neither the deceased who died on the spot, nor the accident. She did not see when the accident, how it has happened. But what she heard only the
Sound.
sound of it, collision, and the cry. She had simply heard about the collision after the dead body. Even the dead body was not present when she went over there. No, the dead body is removed immediately. The dead body had been removed, and she went to the place where she saw the blood, only the stains on the road. not the pool of the blood and the disease wriggling for the life. No, she did not see such a thing. But she saw only the stains of the blood over there, and she heard only the collision. But she was pregnant at the time, and she suffered a nervous shock and gave a birth to a stillborn child of 8 months. What is meant by stillborn child of 8 months delivery? The fetus died in the womb, and she delivered a dead fetus, a child, in the 8th month only. And a premature
child.
డెలివరీ అయిపోయింది. అది కూడా డెడ్ బార్న్, స్టిల్ బార్న్ అంటే డెడ్ అన్నట్టు, స్టిల్ బార్న్ చైల్డ్. అండ్ షీ సూడ్ ద రిప్రజెంటేటివ్ ఆఫ్ డిసీజ్ మోటార్ సైక్లిస్ట్. ద రిప్రజెంటేటివ్ ఆఫ్ మోటార్ సైక్లిస్ట్ చూడు, నువ్వు చేయబట్టి నాకు స్టిల్ బార్న్ బేబీ మిస్క్యారేజ్ అయిపోయింది అని ఫైల్ చేస్తుంది. ఎవరు? ఫిష్ వైఫ్. అసలు నీకు ఎవడు రమ్మన్నాడు అక్కడికి? వెన్ యు ఆర్ ఎ చికెన్ హార్ట్, వై డూ యూ వాంట్ టు సీ, వై డూ యూ వాంట్ టు గో? చికెన్ హార్ట్ పీపుల్ ఈవిల్ డెత్ అనే ఇంగ్లీష్ సినిమా ఉన్నది, చూడకండి, సస్తారు అక్కడనే మీరు. ఈవిల్ డెత్, ఐ డోంట్ నో వెదర్ యు హావ్ సీన్ దట్ మూవీ ఆర్ నాట్. యు విల్ డై ఆన్ ద స్పాట్. ఓకే
Sir, is it available in the YouTube, sir?
ఈవిల్ డెత్, దట్ ఇస్ ద ఇంగ్లీష్ మూవీ, ఓన్లీ హర్రర్ మూవీ దట్ ఈస్. సో ఏ పర్సన్ హూ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ ద చికెన్ హార్ట్ అంటే తెలుసా అండి? కోడి గుండె ఉన్న వాళ్ళు చూడద్దు అది, ఎందుకంటే అక్కడనే చస్తారు వాళ్ళు. దే విల్ డై ఇన్ ద స్పాట్. సో హూ ఆస్క్డ్ యూ టు కమ్ ఓవర్ దేర్? ఈ ఆడవాళ్ళ, నో ఐఎమ్ సారీ, బికాస్ మై వైఫ్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఉమెన్, అండ్ మై మదర్ ఆల్సో ఉమెన్, మై సిస్టర్ ఆల్సో ఉమెన్, అండ్ ఎవ్రీబడి ఈజ్ ఎ ఉమెన్. బట్ ఉమెన్ వెన్ దే కుడ్ హియర్ ద సమ్ మ్యూజిక్ ఆర్ హర్డ్ అని వదిలిపెట్టి, ఏది పిల్లలకు సక్లింగ్ బేబీని కూడా అక్కడ పడేసి ఏం చేస్తారంటే పోయి చూస్తారు అక్కడ ఏమైతే అందని. Don't do such a thing.
All will not see, sir.
Why do you want? Why do you are? You want to suckling baby, you throw that and you want to go and see what is going on over there when the baby is crying. Don't do such a thing. Have the patience. Not that way that you are more curious. Are you a sub-inspector of police? You want to make the panchanama there? Okay, let us come to the
All
point
will
here.
not see, sir.
So it's the woman
Most of the women.
It's the woman tendency.
Most of the women.
It's the woman tendency. ఏదైనా సౌండ్ అయిందనుకోండి, పోయి ప్రత్యేకంగా పోయి చూస్తారు అక్కడ ఏమైతే అయిందని. ఒక్క మీరు ఎవరైనా ఉమెన్ని చెప్పండి, నీకైతే నేను చెప్తానబ్బా నువ్వు ఎవరికి చెప్పకు అని చెప్పండి అనుకోండి, బీబీసీ కన్నా ముందుగా ఆ వార్త వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. విన్నారా అండి?
Not in
Yes,
all
sir.
cases, sir.
Yes, sir. Majority cases.
If you say to a woman, అబ్బా నీకు కాబట్టి నేను చెప్తున్నా అబ్బా, నువ్వు ఎవరికి చెప్పకు అబ్బా నేను ఈ సంగతి అని చెప్పింది అనుకోండి, ఒక ఇంకొక ఆడయంతో ఆ బీబీసీ, అల్ జజీరా, సిఎన్ఎన్ ఇవన్నీ తెలుసా అండి మీకు? అల్ జజీరా, సిఎన్ఎన్, బీబీసీ అంటే
Yes, sir.
ఇంటర్నేషనల్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్స్.
బీబీసీ అంటే బ్రిటిష్ బోర్డ్ కార్పొరేషన్, ఎవరిది? యూకేది. సిఎన్ఎన్ యుఎస్ఏది. అల్ జజీరా కువైత్, వీళ్ళ మిడిల్ ఈస్ట్ వాళ్ళది అల్ జజీరా. దానికన్నా ఫాస్ట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. అది ఉమెన్ కెనాట్ హోల్డ్ ద సీక్రెట్ ఇన్ ద స్టమక్. అది ఎప్పుడు వామిటింగ్ చేసినంత వరకు అది లోపల ఉండదు. అది ఏది సీక్రెట్ until she vomits it to another, and she also, because she cannot digest it, again she vomits it. So in the vomiting it goes pass on to the other people more than the speed of a BBC. Okay, now let us come to the point of our study. Then breach of a duty to take care. Another essential condition for the liability of the negligence is that the plaintiff must prove that the defendant committed a breach of duty to take care and failed to perform the duty. So we already read this case law, Subhagavanti case law, Municipal Corporation of Delhi.
Yes, sir.
ఈ కేసు ఎక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తామండి చెప్పండి? Where do you use this case law? See, already we studied somewhere. Number 1, omission of a duty.
Omission of duty.
They did not do the repair to the
Clock tower
in the Chandni Chowk. Number 1. Number 2, res ipsa laquiter. The thing speaks itself. Adoka chapter unnadi. The res ipsa laquiter, I would like to conduct one guest lecture by Professor Mohan Rao Bolla, and he wants to deal it after some time. Res ipsa laquiter. Maxim, that is. The thing speaks itself.
Okay.
The falling of the clock tower itself is enough. There is no necessity to prove it. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So there
Yes,
is
sir.
no necessity to prove it. So recips are acquittal lo kuda use chestaru. Then breach of a duty to take care lo kuda use chestaru. So who has to take the breach of a duty? Who has to take the care? Municipality should have to take the care of
Municipal
the.
corporation.
Yes. Then ఇది కూడా ఒక కేసు లా అండి. మున్సిపల్ కార్పొరేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఢిల్లీ వర్సెస్ సుశీలాదేవి. ఈ సుశీలాదేవి also there. A person passing by the road died because of the fall of the branch of a tree. Branch of a tree standing on the road on the head. The municipal corporation was held liable because the municipal corporation should have to see all the clock towers, all the trees adjacent to the roadside, all the especially buildings or walls or fencing. It is the municipality should have to take the care. If anything damaged over there, then it is the municipality would be held liable and they did not take the care. Next is consequent damage or consequential harm to the plaintiff. The last essential requisite for the tort of negligence is that the damage caused to the plaintiff was the result of the breach of a duty. The harm may fall into the following classes: physical harm, maybe harm to reputation, defamation, harm to property, stealing, and land and building and right and interest pertaining, yes, and economic loss, money loss, yes, mental and nervous shock, yes. Borhill versus Young. We say nervous shock, premature delivery, miscarriage. Are you following me? The
Yes, sir.
harm ఎట్లుంటది? కార్పొరల్ హామ్ కావచ్చు,
Yes, sir.
మెంటల్ హామ్ కావచ్చు, ఫిజికల్ హామ్ కావచ్చు, రెప్యుటేషన్ హామ్ కావచ్చు, బిల్డింగ్ హామ్ కావచ్చు, ప్రాపర్టీ హామ్ కావచ్చు, ఎకనామిక్ హామ్ కావచ్చు. It may be any type of the harm. So let us see the Achyutarao Haribahu Kodwa versus State of Maharashtra 1996, the Supreme Court cases, second volume, 634 pages. A cotton mop was left inside the body by the negligence of a doctor. ఆపరేషన్ చేసేటప్పుడు కాటన్ మాప్ ఉపయోగిస్తారు. ఎందుకు ఉపయోగిస్తారండి కాటన్ మాప్? Why do they use it?
To move
soak the
the
blood, sir.
The blood coming out, oozes over there. So they will remove with the cotton of the blood. Was left inside the body. The mop was left negligently in the body. Res ipsa laquitur. The thing it speaks itself. There is no necessity that one should have to prove it. The doctor was held liable under the damage of the consequential
Res ipsa
harm
laquitur.
and the negligent on the part of it. So let us see this is the one way defenses for the negligence. We do have it. Then the defenses we can do it tomorrow because we dealt with the fast today. Today I did not allow you to read because you take more time in reading because I am a bit fast in reading because I was habituated to read in that style. And when you come to the defenses for the negligence, we can come, number one, contributory negligence, because your part is there. Helmet not wearing, 20%. Seat belt not tying, 20%. And if you crossing the road where there is no zebra crossing, at the time 50%, sometimes it's 100% also. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
So the contribution negligence, we have some case laws also here. Let me go to just act of God. We study the act of God in the general defenses. Can you tell me at least one case law in the act of God? Yes. We studied at least 4 cases. I remember 4 cases. At least I
Sir,
remember
heavy
3
rains.
cases. Yes.
Heavy rains causing floods.
Pardon?
I don't know exactly the name of the case, sir, but I know the situation. I mean,
Okay, you tell me the facts of the case.
the plaintiff was constructed some canals in his land, sir, and due to heavy
Artificial
rains,
lakes.
artificial lanes, due to heavy rains, the water was flooded into the defendant's
All the
land.
breaches were made for the artificial lakes. Then it is go to the catchment area where the plaintiff land is there, and the plaintiff field is inundated in water, flooded with the water. The rain is time immemorial rained, hence it is the act of God. Name of the
Yes.
case law is Nichols versus Marshland. See, this is a case law. Nichols versus Marshland.
Okay, sir.
So the defendant had a series of the artificial lakes on his land in construction or maintenance in which there had been no negligence owing to the exceptional heavy rain. Some of the reservoirs burst and carried away the 4 country bridges, means canals. It was held that it is a act of God. The defendant was not liable because the water escaped by the act of God. But we have another case law also, Kallular versus Hemchand case law. That is a rain
Yes,
is
sir.
a
I know
common.
the facts.
That is a
Yes.
mud wall.
But it is not an act of God, sir.
It is not. We can say both the things. One says a defendant is available, another we can say it's not available.
Okay.
You can say both the things. Here the defense is not available, you can say. Another is a man-made robbery is made because the transportation going on, the truck was stolen by some of the bandits. So it's a man-made one.
Ruling
So
mob.
it's not a God-made one. Suppose if you don't remember the case law name, think that you don't remember the case law name. At least you write the fact of the case law, because the examiner is so kind enough. Okay, this man has at least cited the 2 cases, but he doesn't know remember the 3rd case, but he knows the facts of the case law. That means he understood the concept of the case law and the theory involved in the case law, and what is the principle involved in the case law. Hence, he will give the full marks. Even I'm an examiner. Even if you cited the 1 case law, 1 facts of the case law, I will give the full marks to you, provided if it is how many marks question it is there. If the 5 marks question is there, at least you have to say the 2 cases and 1 fact. I will give the 5 out of 5. I will give the 5 out of 5, like mathematics.
Got it, sir.
Because you know the facts of the case law. That means you know the principle involved in the case law. But only the memory is very short memory, because of you cannot remember things. But in my examination, no, I will allow the student to go through the cases, because that is my style I adopted there. I will give the list of the cases, alphabetical order. Total which I taught in the 1st semester. Total which I taught in the 2nd semester. Because 1st semester I prepare a separate cases. All the cases which are there in the alphabetical order. Suppose if he knows a little bit also, one of the name of the case law, he can go through it, I can cite it. That facility I have given in the University of Dar es Salaam. Are you following me? So
Yes, sir.
better we have to keep it in the memory. Memory is very much important factor for a lawyer. So that is a very good chance, because if you develop that habit now, I'm sure that you can remember at least 100 cases when you finish your LLB. Okay, now that is also one of the case law that you can cite it. But inevitable accident also we cited many cases, like Brown versus Kendall, that the plaintiff defendant dog were fighting, and this fellow wants to separate them, but the stick went into the eyes of it. That the number 1 inevitable accident. Number 2, we cannot foresee such a thing is going to happen. And this case law also we studied over there. And we also study shooting party case law, Stanley versus Powell. The 2 shooting parties are there. The pellet glanced off by touching the oak tree and injured the another shooting party. That is also inevitable accident. And there we can also say this case law. So Stanley versus Powell, there is the case law of the shooting party. And the Brown versus Kendall, there is the 2 fighting dogs separating. And Holmes versus Mathur, a pair of horses were being driven by the groom of the defendant public highway. On account of the barking of the dog, the horse startled. Not started, it is startled. Not started. Startled. Yeah, it is the Indian tradition that in the beginning or the ending of any program that we will make the play of the national anthem. Now the national anthem will be.
विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।